Hey everybody, it's Peter from the Kia Hyundai channel. Welcome to our live video series. Today we are comparing the Telluride SX, which is this one here, and I'll explain the wheels in just 1 second, to the SXL, and that is what it looks like. Now, a couple quick clarifications. Vehicle, it happens to have a winter tire package on, and it has the bug deflector on. Those are, of course, not standard. Normally, these wheels look exactly like those wheels right there. So whenever I have two Tellurides together and I can compare trims side by side, I take advantage of it. You guys know there's inventory shortages. It is tough to get these two vehicles, so not a perfect comparison. And this one I did a quick spray down on to clean a little bit. That one is still dirty. I apologize. Our goal is to get you the best information we can. However, they're not perfectly clean. This is not primetime TV. Sometimes it's not perfect. Anyways, if you've just joined us and you've never seen our videos before, this is a live video. And if you're not live with us and you just want to get to the content of this video, you can skip ahead to the 3-minute mark. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how to join us live if you want to do that in the future. I'm also going to talk about some news and some notes, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Let me just flip my screen back to where I need to. Okay, there we go. Got my email up. I can't put that on live TV. All right, so there we go. This is how you join us live. You go to us exactly 2 o'clock. I'm just a hair late today. And if you refresh the page, you will see that main video there is replaced by our live video right here. We're going to click into that live video. You're going to be forced to watch a little bit of an ad. Feel free to watch the whole ad if you want. I'm skipping this one. All right, let me skip this ad. There we go. If you're interested in buying a car in Ontario, connect with me. There'll be a link in the description below, and I want to earn your business. Our team wants to earn your business. So click that link in the description, and I will connect you with Brantford Kia, Brantford Hyundai, or Owen Sound Hyundai. Those are the 3 dealers that support this channel, and they'll treat you like family. All right, so news and notes. Big thing, Kia revealed their new website update today, so let's just show you that really quickly. Hey, look at that car. That car is pretty familiar. That's the EV6. Well, good news as well. I have just finished my training on the EV6. I've asked a few more questions to head office just to clarify a couple little things. I am ready to go with this car, and it could show up, it's supposed to show up this month. So we're gonna have EV6 videos, hopefully this month. And so I'm ready to go with that. A lot of the stuff coming up there, which will be exciting. And we'll show you, if you want to look at the rest of the website as well, it has been updated today. So we'll show you that in a second about the Telluride. And that's it. So what's going on in the Hyundai world? We are taking today off of Hyundai just because I had the 2 vehicles that, 2 Kia vehicles. We will have a Hyundai vehicle tomorrow if that's what you want to tune in for. So don't worry, we're not abandoning them at all, unless the EV6 shows up. And then it's like, sayonara Hyundai for the week, and we're going to go EV6 the rest of the week, probably. But I don't think that'll happen, so that's what's going on. All right, 10 seconds to go. Do me a favor, if you're a regular with us, we're a little behind on likes, hit the like button. And if you're not a regular with us, I'll do my best to earn your like throughout this video, but make sure you hit it if you get there. All right, 3 minutes in, you don't want to look at me, you want to look at these 2 vehicles. So again, what we have here is the SX model and the SXL. And again, if they had the same wheels, they are very difficult to tell apart. And sometimes people may not know which ones they want over the other one. And I'm going to try to give you some of the key examples of the differences between these two, especially key things, some things you see and some things you don't, just so that we're on the same page. So first things first, we're going to show you the keys. Actually, let's just go to the website first while we're here. Go to the Telluride, and again, SX Limited is $55,695. I'm looking through the camera. I should be looking through the regular eyes. SX Night Sky is there as well. So again, Night Sky we're not comparing today. This is not the one. Night Sky has everything blacked out a little bit. So again, SX Limited is the most expensive vehicle today. The SX is the least expensive vehicle today. So just so we're clear, again, the SX today, the less expensive one is closer to me with the black wheels. The more expensive one is the one in the background. So, all right, this is like one of those puzzles where you have to find the differences. This is exactly what I do for a living. This is me finding the differences, but really just finding practical differences, because a lot of you are going to be ordering these cars, may not be able to see every trim that you want to see. So I'm going to do my best to just show you some of the key things that are different here. And of course, a lot is the same. First thing we're going to show you, speaking of key things, these are the key things that we have to use to get into them. They are the keys. They are identical. So I'm going to throw one in my pocket right now, and I'm going to throw one out to you here. Once you get into the SX and the SXL trim, or SX Limited, SX Luxury, whatever you want to call it, once you get into these 2 trims, you're into high-end stuff. So you've got a powered tailgate, so you can see that. That will hold and open there if you hold the tailgate, lock and unlock there. Remote start is now standard on these keys, so anytime you see a Kia Telluride with the new logo on it, it should have the remote start, and it will remote start just from the key. It will also remote start from your cell phone through Kia Connect / Yuvo Intelligence. It's kind of using both names right now, so that can get a little confusing for some people, but that will also remote start the car. It will do all kinds of things including turning on your heated seats, those kinds of things. So it's quite nice to have. And yeah, the other thing we pointed out is the key fob to open that trunk there, which is that button right there that you see. You can also just use these key fobs to approach the trunk, stand behind it for a few seconds, and it'll beep 5 times in 3 seconds, and it'll open itself up just by standing there, no waving your foot underneath. We haven't set that up on either one of these cars today, and we can show you another video. We have other videos of that. Real quick, just in case you wanted to follow us, every day I post on Instagram. If you want to follow me there you go, you can. All right, let's jump into this vehicle first. So again, just to recap, the wheels are winter wheels, they're accessories. Normally they're 20-inch wheels. They are on the 20-inch winter wheels here. So the tire size, sidewall size is all the same. Normally these wheels look like those wheels. I have to say I really quite like these wheels up in person. They don't show up very well on video, but they look pretty cool in person. They got the little Kia center caps there as well. And again, they're not cleaned up, so these are not wheel scratches. That's just some of the lubrication they put to get those winter tires on. This car has not been detailed in any way. I have just sprayed it down to make it look cleaner for our video. Jumping into the SX model, you would assume this is the top of the line model for most people, and I think with good reason. This is a luxury car. It competes with luxury cars, and you can see that right here in the seat. Now, interestingly, the Telluride does not have the 4-way lumbar in any trim line. The Sorento does, so just 2-way lumbar here, but I don't think that's gonna matter. These are excellent seats. One of the things I like is if you watch this panel right here, it's in the short position right now, which is still a large seat, very comfortable, but if you press this button here, you'll see that area there start to come out. It doesn't look like a lot on video, but it really changes the way the seat feels, especially for taller people. So if you are a taller person that shares this vehicle with a shorter person, you can really have a long seat here. And one of the key things with the Telluride when you get in is this feels like a large vehicle with large seats. I'm gonna move it a little closer for me because I'm a little shorter than whoever sat here last. But it is a very comfortable, wide seat. It's, again, supportive in my whole leg because of that extension there. It's a very comfortable car. It wins a lot of awards because when you get in, you sit there and you have a little bit of wow factor here. All right, let's flip the camera around here. Turn it to the on position. Now, a lot of people are surprised to see that we don't have the digital gauges in here, but we do have this center display here. This is the way it comes in every trim line, these upper 2 trim lines today anyways, and you do have a very good digital display screen here, which basically gives you the functionality of every other, full LED display. So you still, or full LCD display, or digital display, I guess we should call it. So even though these gauges are permanent, if I was to signal left, I would have a live video feed of the camera down the road. And I have to start the car to do that, so we're not going to do that right now. We could show it to you maybe closer to the end of the video, just because we are indoors today. But yeah, this is a live video feed of your left side when you signal left, your right side when you signal right. And it is a color display screen that is very crystal clear, very good system here. It shows you everything you would need to see. And again, the colors there, there's your all-wheel drive bar graph, so that those fill in as you're driving. We've done that before in the snow in this vehicle. So tire pressure's there as well. Just everything you could think of, all displayed in that center display with permanent analog gauges on either side there. So again, same display in both. You're gonna notice that the other one has a slightly low tire, so it's gonna show a tire pressure warning light potentially. And again, that one hasn't been through our shop yet, and that's sometimes the way they come from the factory. So over here, again, crystal clear, nice and good. Again, even though it's not fully digital, I think it gives you all the information you need, and they do a good job there. Now, if you've looked at a Telluride in the past, the software has been updated, and this one includes that update. It's got this purplish theme here. Some people like purple, some people don't. Again, this is more of an artsy rendition of the navigation rather than an actual practical navigation. But of course, if you jump in here and it's in a daylight situation, which of course we're inside, you're going to see this being a lighter color. This is just assumes that it's night outside because we're in a bit of a darker room than outside. And yeah, so this switches from light to dark theme. You can go full screen here. You can go 1/3 screen as well. But the new software, the navigation is very good. I think most people will be satisfied with what they're seeing and what they're finding. And then we go into the sort of the general settings of everything here. So quiet mode can mute the rear speakers. If you've got people that want to sleep in the back or maybe listen to their own music on their own headphones, you can turn off the rear speakers with the quiet mode and just keep the speakers in the front. Passenger talk is one of my more favorite features in this car. I don't know if you can pick up the editing. I'm speaking fairly loudly so that you can, or the echoing. There is an echo now, and the reason there's an echo is because the microphone that is used for your cell phone, you can kind of hear it there. The microphone that's used for your cell phone picks up my voice and sends it to the third row, to the speakers in the back row there. So if I'm talking to people in third row, I speak loudly for my videos, but I could just have a normal conversation with someone in the third row. And of course, because they're facing forward, they can speak normally as well. And I can say, hey guys, we're gonna stop in about 5 minutes, so just be ready to go. And you have essentially an intercom system with at least announcing my voice to the rear. It does not announce the rear voice to the front, but that's usually not an issue. With these cars, with the sort of well-insulated vehicles, more luxury feeling cars, the sound same way it would in a teeny kind of smaller car. So having this feature in this car is actually a very good idea because it just broadcasts your voice to the back. You can stop it at any point and you can pull this up. You can even pull this up here. Let's just pull the radio up for a second here. Where's my radio? Let's go right there. So we can pull the radio up for a second. I could have just hit the hard buttons as well, which are down here. That would have pulled up the radio as well. Anyways, if you have the radio up here, again, new look to the radio. You can do AM, FM, satellite as well, but passenger talk can be right there. So you can just keep it up at any point to sort of toggle the speaking and, or you can cycle through navigation, everything else that you would want to see here as well. And actually this one hasn't got everything toggled on. So we could probably have 5 or 6 things in there. It's only got 3 things toggled on. Again, that can be customized. So overall, great radio system here. It is a Harman Kardon system. Great technology type display in here. All kinds of things, sounds of nature, which are my absolute most favorite features here. Let's see if we can get the radio data to work here. Sometimes the Doppler radar will work for us. No, we were inside in a radio protected area and I didn't have this car outside long enough running. But you can see things like a Doppler radar system right here. You'll notice this has dual sunroofs. Now in this particular car, the front one opens, the rear one does not open. Obviously it's very dirty, covered in water and everything else. You'll have the same thing in the other trim line as well. So we're just showing the basics here and then we're gonna start showing you some differences. Coming down here, automatic climate control. It's a tri-zone system. I've got the rear system off right now, but we can so very simple, easy to use. Same thing in both cars. Heated and ventilated seats, rump roasters as I like to call them. Heated seats there, ventilated seats right there. One of the cool things with the Telluride, it's the only Kia that does this to this point. You can set it up so that when you start the car, you can have the heated seats automatically turn on if it's cold outside, and your heated steering wheel automatically turn on if it's cold outside. If it's warm outside, you can set it up so the driver seat has just the ventilated seats turned on as well. Now, I will say the ventilated seats in all of our Kia vehicles with the ventilated seats, they do a very good job of moving a large amount of air. Some of the competitors' seats, when they're ventilated, they're just not that good. They take the heat out of a leather seat, which is nice, but they don't really cool the seats. And these ones move enough air to feel like it's cooling the seats, and that makes a difference. All right, jumping down here. Let's just show you this here. Again, everything is the same in both these cars at this point. So you've got USB, and 12 volts. My watch got stuck there. You've got the wireless phone charger down there as well. And that, of course, hides behind that piano black trim. 8-speed automatic transmission. This vehicle, both vehicles can tow 5,000 pounds. The SXL might be the better choice for towing. The SXL model, which we're about to show you, has load leveling rear suspension. This one just has traditional suspension. It's not going to matter for most people, but if you are getting up into those higher weights or if you're carrying a lot of weight in the back, that might be something you're looking for, not just for ride comfort, because it can, once it levels itself back out, it preserves that sort of ride, but it also can help with your headlight aiming. If you've got a lot of squat going on in this car, your headlight aiming comes up. So SXL is something to consider if you're towing or carrying a lot of heavier loads. But there is that ability to have it self-level. So technically the SXL has better rear suspension, but 8-speed transmission, towing of 5,000 pounds is possible, and drive modes here. Comfort, Eco, Sport, and Smart. You can see those there, Smart, Sport, Eco, Comfort. And then in Canada, hey, look at that, terrain modes for snow, mud, and sand. You don't have this in the States. You do have it in Canada. Another great reason to move to Canada. So we'll keep that there. And then, of course, electronic parking brake, all those kinds of things down here. Camera, let's show the rear camera while we're here. Throw in reverse, and we have a 360 camera with the rear camera. So just the same system, both cars, fantastic system. You can zoom in and out here if you wanted to. Just overall great system. We can dig into that a little bit later, but I want to show you the differences in the other cars. So what we're going to do is quickly show you some differences in the front seat. There are a few differences in the front seat, and then we're going to move back to questions, middle row seats, trunk space, rear seats, lighting, all kinds of things. Really quickly, you do have the traditional style mirror here. So you do have 3 garage door openers on the mirror, and you also have the UVO intelligence sort of emergency buttons here as well for that system. And they're moving away from these sunglasses holders. Telluride still has one, so there we go. All right, let's jump out, turn this car off, go into the SXL now. So again, normally the wheels are the same on these cars. On the exterior, they are nearly identical. Unless you're a Kia nerd like me, you probably can't tell them apart, and I'll tell you the difference when we get to it. But outside from the side, no real difference here at all. Same silver trim up there. Now again, the Night Sky Edition or Nightfall Edition in the States will have a lot of blacked out trim, but there's really no difference visually from the view you're seeing right now between these two models. Again, SXL, although it's dirtier, this one is a step up in luxury. Do you see any differences? Nope. Still got the memory seats, the power seats, the same type of situation in here. In the front seat, the only difference you're going to notice right off the bat is, and in this vehicle it's going to look bad, above me. This films terribly, but this is a suede headliner. What you're going to do is brush it nicely once and kind of leave it. If you have kids in this car, their fingerprints will show up. It looks nowhere nearly as bad as it does on camera, but the feel and the feeling of luxury in these in the roof here is pretty cool. But maybe not as kid-friendly. Again, it doesn't look nearly as bad in person as it does on camera. I don't know if I can sort of, I don't know where we're looking here. Oh boy. Yeah, so again, it doesn't look as bad in person, but you can really see it on camera. And that is something that it's not stained. It's just a soft headliner, which looks pretty cool. It's really the only difference you're going to notice. If we take a look here in the driver's seat, I've still got a reflective or a cover on here. We're going to take that off. But again, you have the same system here, the guest mode here. You have the same thing here. Remember I told you this car has a low tire, so we're going to double check that when we go through. There's your tire pressure monitors in action, and that's how it works. This one has not been through the shop, has not done anything to it, so don't panic about the way these things come through here. That's what they look like. Again, the gauges here, same thing. Tri-zone temperature control, same thing. This one's set to Fahrenheit. We can set it to Celsius as we did in the other car. Heated and ventilated seats. Everything is the same. So from the driver's seat, if you are buying this car and you just care about what it feels like and looks like in the driver's seat, it's basically identical. That's not where the differences are. So we're going to go take your questions here. And other than the headliner, like I said, no real difference from the driver's seat. So let's go take your questions. We'll jump to the middle row seat. We'll start talking about the added extras that you get in this car. And let's go do that right now. So do me a favor, guys. Let's see. We're at 61 people on. Let's just set a nice low bar of 60 people for likes today. So we're at 37. Watch is talking to me. We're at 37 people now. Let's see if we can get to that. And I'll answer your questions as best I can right now. And then we'll jump through and show you some of the differences between these two vehicles. All right. Jumping out, I will say that the overall feeling of luxury in these vehicles is surprising. People are surprised when they get out of their luxury vehicles, and maybe this is their first experience with Kia. These are vehicles that are definitely impressing them. Bear with me for a second, guys. I'm just logging into my computer here. All right, here we go. All right, a couple things I should have pointed out as well. Things you don't see, oops, there we go. Things you don't see on the SXL. Heads-up display is on this one. It's not on this one, so we can show you that. And the rain sensing wipers. That's really from the driver's seat, the only thing you feel differently. There is a Napa leather in here. I'm not a leather aficionado. I think it feels similar to me, but obviously if you know leather better than I do, a lot to you to have the Napa leather in there. And hey, I think we're back. Let me know in the comments if we're back. I think we're good. Okay, sorry about that. Can you trade the silver wheels for the black one? The price difference, that would be something that your dealer would have to decide if they wanted to do. Normally speaking, I don't think we would want to. Usually what we do is put winter wheels on, but yeah, I think we'd be open to talking about that with you if you want. Okay, I think if you pull this convex mirror, no, there's no convex mirror in the sunglasses on the Telluride. There has been that in previous minivan versions, but there's not on this Telluride. So a good question about when you pull down the sunglasses holder, is there a convex mirror there? There's not on the Telluride. Have I tried to set things up using my Apple Watch? I'm not sure what you mean by set things up. At this point, my Apple Watch does not connect with these cars. There's no connectivity that way, at least not in Canada. Digital gauges in the next refresh? Yeah, that'll probably happen. That seems to be where they're moving, and it'll probably be bigger screens. These are no longer the largest screens offered, that 10.25 inch screen in the center. Now we have in the Sportage, the new Sportage that's coming out, in the EV6, and already in the Carnival, we have 12.3 inch screens. So you can get a little bit larger screens now. There we go. Somebody says 10 to 12 months wait time. Yep, these vehicles are in very high demand, and that is what's going on. Does Telluride have a skid plate? Is it real steel or fake? Because my wife has a Honda Pilot with a skid plate made of plastic. Any kind of skid plate on this car from the factory is not a skid plate. It is an aerodynamic piece. So they are plastic. They're not designed to go over rocks. I believe you can get some upgrades. Some people have done that. But if you're taking these so far off-road and you're hitting the ground on these, then yeah, you'd have to look into some body armor that this car doesn't come with. Any protective pieces underneath are more for aerodynamics than they are for actual rock crushing protection, that kind of thing. Okay, will I be reviewing the 2022 Sportage? 2022 Sportage I've already done. 2023 Sportage is the one that's about to come out right now, which I get it, it's confusing. But yeah, the next generation Sportage is due to show up here in the next couple months or so, and I absolutely will be reviewing that. So there we go. Will there be a 23 Telluride? I am under the impression that there will be. So, all right, let's keep moving here because I had a little bit of freezing in there. Let's keep moving on to the differences in the rear. In the rear seat, that's where you're going to start seeing some differences in these models. Again, the biggest difference out front is the heads-up display, rain-sensing wipers. Sorry, there we go. Okay, biggest thing we have here is rear seat, or I say rear seat, I should say middle row seat. In the SX model, bench seat. In the SXL model, it's only captain's chairs in this thing. So this is an 8-passenger, 2 plus 3 plus 3, so that's 6 plus 2 is 8. In that one, it is 3 in the back. It's a tight 3 for sure. It's a comfortable 2, tight 3. Then 2 in the middle row, and then 2 in the front row. So we'll show you that difference in just 1 second. But you do have in here a bench seat, and surprisingly, no heated rear seats. We'll talk about the differences over there. You get heated and ventilated there, but we'll show you that in a second because it's a little different as well. All right, so getting in, you can see here, the height is perfect. You can tilt these seats back and make them very comfortable. You can move the seats forward, so I can move it quite a bit forward, and I can move it quite a way back as well. Overall comfort, even though these aren't captain's chairs, top notch, 100%. Like, it is very, very comfortable here. In the SXL, again, if you are wanting heated middle row seats here, you can't get in this model. You do have this little tab right here, which if I pull it here, is one of those window guides there. In this vehicle, they have it only on the doors here. On the Carnival, they'll have it in the 3rd row seats as well. So you only have these extra shades in this middle row seat here. You do have a nice big handle for helping you climb in. It is a slightly taller vehicle, but it's just not hard to get into, but it does have a handle there. Overall, they do everything right back here. USB plug in the seat, little bag hook right there. You've got a big pocket here, a cell phone or like a large cell phone, small tablet pocket right there. Cup holders right here. You've got a USB port down here. You've got a 12 volt, or sorry, not a 12 volt, a 115 volts right beside it. So, boy, I said that wrong. Not a USB, a 12 volt and a 110 volt plug right there. And again, the USB port again back here, plastic back seat. So if you have kids back here, it's easily to wipe down, and pockets on both sides, which of course I've been complaining about. You also have the rear air conditioning and full on, ooh, that's not what we want to do. Not so close to Peter. There we go. All right, you have the full climate system here. If it was on, I could show you. This is a red display showing you can bring the air above you, which is right here in these vents right here, which can be turned and focused around where you need them. You can bring the air to your feet, which we know where that is. And you can turn off, you can turn the fan speed up and down, you can turn the temperature up and down, or you can just leave it on auto. And you do have the ability to have your rear seat passengers control it here, or you can lock them out and control it from the front. So perfectly good space back here. Underneath the sunroof, this does have a powered shade which can close. It is a massive sunroof, width-wise and lengthwise. Very big sunroof. This one does not open. If you want an opening middle row sunroof, Kia Carnival has that. Not a lot of people know that. Okay, let's jump into the SXL and compare the differences, because this is what you're paying for in differences. And again, if you're not just worried about yourself, this is where some of those differences come in. All right, taking a look here. Again, we've got shipping plastic on this, so ignore the white trim there. That's just shipping plastic. But you can see here, there's your difference. You have the space in the middle, this Napa leather. You know what? It does feel different. I gotta be fair. It does feel a little bit different in the Napa leather. I don't always notice things because I forget to feel them, but yeah, it feels a little bit different there. So armrest there, and you saw when I put it down there. Let's put it back up. When we put it down, it goes too far down. I don't know if you can tell. It's beyond level there. Come on, camera. It's beyond level like that. And that's because if you tilted the seat back, it would then be level. So it's very good here, and but it ratchets up to be level when you want. Overall back here, same feeling of comfort in here. There's not a strong comfort difference other than without that middle row seat, you kind of feel like you have your own space, your own little special spot. Ceiling, same thing. Like we said, this looks always way worse on camera than it does in person, so don't shy away from this if you think the luxurious feel of it is nice. Obviously, this one's been touched up by people in production and everything else. You just have to sort of comb it once and you're good to go. But very good seat back here. Biggest difference is, let's show you over here. Try to get the camera around here. Rump roasters and ventilated seats. Whoops, come on, camera. So 3 levels of seat heating, 3 levels of ventilated seats back here. And that is the kind of thing where maybe you're a real estate agent. Maybe you take clients out somewhere and you want to impress them. Sitting back here, it is the identical experience to a front row seat. You've got as much space as you need. You've got everything else. Everything else is the same. Everything we showed you in the last one with the plugs down low there, the hook here, the USB port in the back of the seat, the pockets, everything else is the same. You just have a different seat. And I guess, to be fair, the leather probably does feel a little bit different in this one. Better or worse is up to you. I'm not a leather expert. Personally, I don't like leather in my vehicles, although I do have leather in my vehicles, so it is what it is. Back row, we're not going to show you with the seats up, but they do have third rows down. We're going to show you that trunk space now. And then lighting there are some lighting differences between these two vehicles, so let's just show you that. All right. Jumping back here, again, we are going to take your questions in just a second. We're just going to wrap up here. We were looking for 60 likes, so 8 more likes. You got 83 people on right now. Let's see if we can get to just a couple more likes. Trunk space is identical in both, and to be fair, trunk is identical in both. Plastic here, shipping plastic there, that's a little silver trim underneath there. You can throw those seats up, and when you do, you have a comfortable space for 3 more passengers. This is pretty cool here. This is your cargo cover, or underfloor storage area. I can hook this up like this and keep it upright like that, which means when I have the trunk seats folded down, my cargo stuff is not going to slide forward. So that's one option to have this cargo cover. The other option is just like we had it. It's level with the floor. The other option is to drop it down like this and bring it right to the floor, and then you have a deeper well, almost a minivan-like well. Not quite as deep as our minivan, but similar kind of lower well there. And you know, just kind of an interesting thing. We're going to leave it up in the high position here. If I do have it down, similar space to maybe a Kia Soul. Maybe not quite. Maybe the Kia Soul is an inch or so longer, but similar space to a Kia Soul behind the third row seat as what a Kia Soul would have behind a second row seat. And of course, very tall, very wide. How tall and how wide? Well, let's do the teddy bear test. Teddy bear is my trunk measurement tool. All of you guys have requested different items, and some people want golf clubs, some people want boxes and other stuff. Teddy bear is who we use. The reason we use teddy bear is not because it matches what you have, but it allows you to go between videos and see comparatively which trunk is bigger. This is easily a 2 teddy bear trunk. Beyond that, really, it's lots of teddy bear space here. It's the biggest vehicle we have other than our Carnival for space. And although it may not be easy to see with Teddy sitting right there, it is very large. A couple little things to point out. Rear seats do have USB ports right there on the center of your screen for the third row. You can flop the second row seats down here from the back. You have a 12-volt port right there as well. Armrests are nice and handy, so just very comfortable overall. We're gonna take Teddy Bear out of here. Again, this is the same in both vehicles. Let's throw it down, and what we're gonna do now is close this up and look at, oops, I think I just opened it and closed it. No, I good. I thought I tapped it twice. So what we're gonna do is turn on the lights on this car because there are lighting differences. Nothing on the front, but I do wanna show you on the rear. So bear with me for a second as we go to the on position. There we go. Key is on, lights are on. We're gonna do the same thing with both cars, and we'll turn the signal on here as well. All right, it's angry at me because I have the key in my pocket and it wants it in the car. That's why it's beeping there. So we'll do the same thing over here. Headlights on, car to the on position, left side, fog lights on, there we go. All right, looking at the headlights. Ooh, we don't want to see that. Sorry about the camera view there. You don't want to see me. Now, this looks like it's yellower than this. For whatever reason, the brightness of the LED lights show up yellow here. These are the same color to me, but the headlights are brighter white. So they are white LED that they don't film really, really well, but you can really see in person sharp cutoffs. You can see a very bright light. Again, it looks extremely yellow on my screen. It's not yellow at all, extremely white in person. And you can see it all right here. When you have your daytime running lights on, the amber surround, and it is amber, is always there, and it looks sort of like this over there. And you have the projector beam headlights. These are the top style of headlights we have. So bright headlights there, and ignore the flickering. That just flickers when it interacts with the camera. And again, bright fog lights there as well. So overall, same thing. You've got the parking sensors in the front, same lighting. Again, that one's got the accessory hood deflector on. There's the new logo there. It's the same, right? Now, in the rear is where we have differences. I should point out the mirrors do have signal lights in both lights, and that, again, identical there as well. Now, let's see if you can see some of the differences here. There are a lot of differences in Telluride lights. If you don't have the LED lights like these, then this is the SXL here. These, if you do have the LED lights, excuse me, then these are reflectors down here. So you can see it over here. That is your signal light, and there are reflectors. So that's how that works there. Coming over to the other style lighting, no LED lighting in this one. So little different lights, and you have your signal lights down here. So just a little bit of a difference there. I believe the EX actually has still signal lights up here. I could be wrong about that. But just something to keep in mind is that signal lights are right there. They're almost in the exact same location. Whereas this one, you have the LED signal lights, which are probably a little bit more impressive, but then you don't have combined, right? So that's light there and no light there. So when you're braking, that becomes your signal. Whereas this one, if you're braking, all the lights stay lit up and you have a separate signal. So that is the difference between these two vehicles. We were going for 60 likes. Hey, we got to 68. We got about 100 people on right now. So if anybody wants to give a like just because you like the Telluride, you appreciate that we're trying to give you information, if there's any reason to like me, go ahead and do that. Oh, the hated bumper lights. Now you're going to hear it. Yeah, you know what? These bumper lights aren't too bad because the bumper lights are kind of in the same region as the regular lights, right? Like if those lights kind of curled around there into body color bumpers, it would be the same exact thing. So there we go. All right, I'm going to go through your questions again here, make sure I didn't miss too much. Sometimes I do miss things, and I do apologize. Okay, if I have time for a Hyundai question, somebody just wrote me in. Give me a second. Let me go through the on-topic questions for a second, and then we'll go to the off-topic questions. Bruce says, how can you not like Peter? Well, you should join my comment section when I check it every morning. There's plenty of people that think I do a terrible job. It's not a good place to go for confidence. Okay, let's see what we got here. Hyundai question, you can go ahead and ask it. I'm just not going to look at it until I try to find some of these other questions in here that might be vehicle related. So I want to stay on topic before I go off topic, because once we go off topic, we're kind of done. Somebody says, I call that beeping separation anxiety. That's very good. I might steal that. You know, the car has separation anxiety when you steal the key from it. I really wish the Telluride was in your budget. I love it. Yeah, the Telluride's just great. And the one thing I will say, I used to review cars for a living, and different cars and different price points, it was never the price that mattered, but there's some sort of magic that happens with certain cars where you get in it and you're like, this is nice. And the Telluride has that. And it's funny because car reviewers know that as well. They jump in these cars and it's consistently won many awards. So it's one of those cars where you get in and right away you have that feeling of this is something special, this is nice, and it really is. All right. Any plans for 2023 model to have power tilt and telescopic steering wheel? I don't know. The Stinger has that. I don't know any details at all about future Tellurides at this point. At this point, I only know about what we have. And then there's that. So somebody says, one Telluride so bad, think about trading a Sorento in. If you want a Telluride, you've got time. And what I mean is place your order and then you have time. These Tellurides are a ways out right now. It is what it is. So it's kind of the way things go. So feel free to order soon because you will have to wait for one. Okay, so let's go to the off-topic questions. I have a Hyundai question where Kia has a sunglass holder on the overhead console. The Palisade has a useless convex mirror. Is that removable for the sunglass option? That's a good question. I would think it's not. I think that convex mirror is a little bit smaller than the sunglasses holder, and I don't think they have like an adaptable piece that throws it in there. So yes, you do get that mirror in there, but you don't get it in this one. I don't think you can do anything about it. Off topic, will you be getting a Tucson or Sportage PHEV? Which do you think will be available first? And yes, we'll be going to Brantford. So Tucson PHEVs have already been able to be ordered. There's quite a long wait time for that. I have owners that have offered them to me, so I do need to get one in here, and I need to speak with an owner because I won't see one coming into the dealership for a little while. There is a wait time on those. As far as the Sportage has not had the PHEV introduced yet, so I don't expect to see a Sportage for a while. The PHEV I've heard is coming, but I'm not even going to announce when I've heard it's coming because those plans can change. There we go. Any plans for a PHEV Telluride soon? Short answer is no. I don't expect this. It's interesting because when the concept car of this came out, they were talking about a lot of power, hybrid type powertrain, and then the production car came out and never had a hybrid powertrain. And I think they've never been able to keep up with production and even before the inventory shortages hit because it's been so popular. So I don't know if this platform can handle a PHEV. It wouldn't likely be until the next refresh But right now, adding a PHEV is something that is just not going to happen in 2022. Inventory shortages of everything battery related, all those battery style vehicles are difficult to get right now. So it's just not going to come right now, even if they could do it, because there are so many backups to all of those components. There's long waits for PHEVs right now, so I don't see them changing that here, because the Telluride is already desirable. Making it more desirable wouldn't help, and it would also take batteries away from other vehicles that need it. Can you order a specific trim and color of a Telluride? Couldn't when I bought mine. Yeah, you can order whatever Telluride you want right now. Shortage coming in mid-March. There are shortages right now of everything, and that's why there's some delays. So I bought my vehicle technically in a shortage, and you have to wait. Everybody just kind of gets used to waiting right now, and there's that. Okay, somebody says I do a fabulous job. I definitely appreciate that. It's nice to hear from positive people as well. Okay, so we're gonna leave that here. Those are the two Tellurides compared. Feel free to leave a like if you want. And if you don't, I get it. But it'd be cool if you could. Tomorrow, I haven't decided what we're doing at the Hyundai store tomorrow. I have to pick that out. So if you have some suggestions, I'm willing to take it. The Kona N we just did. People are requesting to see that again. I'd love to do that. We won't be doing that this week, but we will get back to it. So tomorrow, back to the Hyundai store, and then we'll see what goes on for the rest of the week. Family Day is on Monday here. So we have a holiday on Monday, so I'm going to take that day off and not film on the following Monday. What is it, the day? The 16th or something like that? I don't even know. Yeah, 16th today. So 21st-ish is Family Day. We take that day off, and we'll go from there. So I will be here right through Friday, and we'll be here for a 4-day week next week as well. Lots coming up. EV6 is showing up soon. We're going to have the Ioniq 5 back in here, probably with the EV6. Lots of stuff going on. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll talk to you again in the next one.